Alright, guys. It is time for the Assembly Grand Finals cast. We looked at Cyril's round of 8 match. We looked also at his semi-final match against Stats. And now we're following Stats because his build, I mean, I've already seen so many other players copying that triple Oracle opening. Is he going to do it here against Solar? I don't know. I haven't even seen any of these games. I was out with my mates hiking up in the mountains over the weekend, missed all the games. So I'm very keen to see what happens. I do know the end result, but I don't know exactly what happens in each game. So I'm going to be just as excited as you guys, figuring it out as things go down. Of course, this is a best of 7 grand finals. First 1 to 4 wins will take it out. Up here in the top left in the red, it's Stats. Let's swap that scoreboard around. And down here in the bottom right, representing TSG, it's Solar. So Solar here, just going for a hatchery first. Very chill opening, hatch gas pool, standard stuff. Stats has actually skipped his scout, so Stats playing a bit greedy to open up this series. It's just gonna probably not scout until after his cyber core goes down. So he's gonna go down with this probe, drop a 20 Nexus, and this just gives you a smoother opening. You just get a bit more minerals. You know, your cyber core comes down a bit earlier, your Nexus comes down a bit earlier. Not sending the probe scout, it just allows your build to be a little bit tighter. Of course, the risk you're taking here is if your opponent 12 pulls, you probably are just gonna die. The thing is, that's why players only do this 1 in 3 times, something like that roughly. And they kind of base it off their opponent. They're like, my opponent never 12s pull. I'll actually do it a lot. I'll do it a bunch of times in a row until they 12 pull me. So you're kind of punishing your opponent for, you know, never taking the gamble of the 12 pull opening. At the same time, this, you know, you basically make it so it's a losing gamble. The top Protoss players like, look, if I do this 1 in 3 times, and I kind of randomize it, you don't know what map, when it's going to happen, and 12 pull's really bad versus all my other openings. At a certain point, Zerg stopped 12 pulling. And the Protoss like, hey, they never 12 pull. And they start doing it more and more and more, until the Zerg's like, all right, I need to 12 pull. These guys are, it's actually a good gamble again. It's a good gamble. It's a 70% gamble. They're gonna not scout. So let's get some free wins, some free points. So there's this kind of, that's you know, just an example of a little basic strategy metagame that goes on at the highest level. Lots of little corner cutting that goes on. Chrono boosted adept, another one immediately on the way. Chrono boosting probes here out of both Nexi. Very quick Stargate on the way. Just one Zergling, another Zergling looking around the map and just kind of scouting around. So Adept, of course, wants to get nice and close to that queen so that the shade can scout, but actually, oh, does a backwards shade. Ooh, looking for the drone snipe, looking for the drone snipe. Nice spore trick there from Solar. Saves it, mitigates the damage. But the Adept, she's unscathed, gets out of there. And it's a Phoenix on the way behind this. The Overlord's gonna come into scout now, says, oh, you don't have a Stalker yet? Oh, okay. Let's go into that main. And the other Overlord's like, get out of there. Could be a Phoenix opening, man, run. This Overlord's trying to very slowly get out of there. Phoenix will clear that up. We've got an Oracle on the way. Second gateway goes down in the wall. Third and fourth gas. It looks exactly like that triple Oracle build, guys. It really does. I think we'll see an Oracle queued up there in just a second. And yeah, queues up the extra Oracle. Nicely done here. So Stats is going to go for this. It's a Phoenix. Oracle comes in, try to do some pressure. Second Oracle comes in, tries to do some pressure. Third Oracle comes in, dive in, dive in, dive in. These two Adepts will join up and try to kind of hide in a mineral line and just create threat. Like, that's actually a really good position right there or there. So you can shade into the natural or the third base. Or you can come in from the top. And then behind it, Stats drops 4 more gateways to go up to 6 gates. Builds an Immortal and then a Warp Prism. Warps in a round of sentries, a couple Stalkers, and goes for a push. He takes a third base behind that push, so it's not all in, but it forces a very uncomfortable situation for the Zerg. Very nice. Picks up the Queen, disables it. Phoenix tanks a bit. Oracle gets 3 workers. That's a good first wave. Solar. Got to be a little bit annoyed at that. I think he's gone 5 queens already. Yeah, he's gone 5 queens and spores, and he still took 3 losses. That's a pain. Because he's investing a lot in anti-air. Obviously, he's seen the previous games of Stats. He knows the build order. He did it 3 games in a row to finish off Cyril after being down 0-2. We see the queens here well positioned. Now, one of the important things I was talking about is Overlord vision on the edges to see which angle they're coming in from, so your queens can get right up on the edge and anticipate it. Queens are going to come forward, does focus fire those queens, and Spore on the Oracle almost goes down. 1 drone only falling that time. And the Phoenix heavily bruised as well. So it's not going to be that much use in these follow-up waves. Meanwhile, these two Adepts come in. They do get kind of surrounded, but they were in the choke points. They couldn't go down too quickly. Drone's going to surround that Adept. And 3 workers do go down in total. So Solar's actually doing pretty damn good. Compared to where Serral was, the problem is he has been a bit greedy. He's building another 7 workers. Ooh, so I think he's got to build a bunch of roaches right after that. Like, if he can get away with that, which I think he will, I feel like Solar's in the lead in this game. But it's never over until the Oracles are actually dead. And they're not dead right now. 3, 4, 5, 6. Loses an Oracle. Phoenix does get out of there on red hit points. Stats, even in the midst of focus firing the enemy units, does pull back with that. And 20 Zerglings on the way. Oh, that's the wrong unit. You don't want... I guess Zerglings... Is he going to go for the 3rd? It looks like he already forced out a bunch of force fields. Is he just going to try and surround these units with a swarm of Lings? Or will he backstab the 3rd, try to snipe that down, and then defend with roaches at home? Solar here really trying to cut a bit of a corner. He's still droning. He's actually being a little bit too greedy, I think, right now. Yeah, I mean, a few roaches and ravages would change everything. Where are these Zerglings? Zergling wraparound could be good. The Prism is not in position. Oh, this is so dangerous from stats. Solar, go for it. Get it, get him. Go Solar, now's your opportunity. The Prism's not there. You're missing a golden opportunity to kill all the sentries. Oh, this is so unfortunate. And the Spore moves down there and the Oracle actually sidesteps it. Oh no, loses a bunch of drones to the stasis trap. And he's missed his opportunity to jump on it. Now the Prism's there, he can just ferry the units back. He's got a Stalker warp in. This army just became 10 times stronger. The sentries, a lot of them are getting a second force field energy up. Oh, Solar's gonna come in with the Zerglings, but no, the Zerglings are I mean, they're gonna get the Warping and Zealots, which is not terrible, but it's not great either. Oh, Solar was in such a good position. He tried to do too much with it. He tried to drone so hard. He's trying to get up to Spire. He tried to build Zerglings so late in the game. Zerglings are not a direct combat unit. They're more of a harassment unit. They're a bonus tool that you need your Roaches and Ravagers to defend this sort of push. And such a great start from Solar. Way better than Serral did in many of his games. But yeah, just underestimating the follow-up push. I think he thought that stats wouldn't go for it. Good Zergling run by. Does get 2 probes. Oh, is he going to get any more? I'm not sure. The Roaches, Ravagers, Zerglings trying to overwhelm. There's too many Zealots. The Zerglings can't do anything here, guys. Back at home, those Zerglings, yeah, Shield Battery Adept cleans it up. Stasis Traps coming in at the same time as this pressure. The Roach Ravagers trying to hang on, but that one Immortal is up to 13 kills. Biles spreading across both the enemy army and the force fields to break. And it looks like Solar should eventually... Actually, you know what? He's not even going to hold. He's actually going to straight up die, even though he's so behind on economy. He's going to die. Oof, that's rough. That's real rough, guys. Nice Bile, gets it. Gets the Prism. Hangs on for now, but he is out of this game. There's no way. He's down 10 workers. Yeah, Immortal gets saved. He does snipe the Sentry, which is nice, but... Oracle comes in, gets 2 more workers. He's building Muters. I guess. There's a chance. Shouldn't call it too early, should I? Shouldn't call it too early, but it's a real rough spot, man. Oh my god, that Oracle. Even more workers. Ravagers and Lings gonna kind of threaten across the map a little bit. Charge +1, Immortal, Stalker, Zealots. This is a very good anti-ground army. Phoenix production on the way. Stats so smart. His brain is so large. He's seen the Spire. Says, let's just build a few Phoenix one at a time. You notice he set his rally point to the Phoenix. So they'll group up automatically. Lings and Ravagers not able to contest this army. That's a scary army. They're just trying to distract. He's trying to create threat right now. Solar's like, hey, look at me. I'm doing things. And the Muters do get on top of the Phoenix. That moment of inattention. 2 Muters deep in the red. Solar's going to want to pull those away from the Phoenix. A new second Phoenix is about to come out. Oh, pull back the red Phoenix. Ooh, the red Muter goes down. Lovely focus fire there by Stats. Does have a cannon up in the mineral line. Those Phoenix very damaged right now. They can outrange the Muters with perfect micro. They can avoid those Muters pretty much forever. More and more Muters on the way. Solar's trying to play Skyzerg. The problem is, he's not able to actually do critical probe damage right now. And this army's out on the map. I think Stats can just shove across the map and finish him off, to be honest. And we're up to 3 Phoenix now. 3 Phoenix make quick work out of those Mutt-Mutts. Mutt-Mutt's coming back in. Stats is like, ooh, you cornered, boy. You cornered. Zealots, Ravagers, Zealots, Immortal Archon in the middle. The Phoenix gonna, yeah, I mean, Solar's doing a great job of microing this, but Stats doesn't make mistakes with those Phoenix. These Muters, yeah, the rally of Muters getting taken down. The Zealot Archon Immortal gonna come in. The Muters just unable to take advantage of these Phoenix. Stats, whenever he looks away, he disengages the Phoenix. So whenever he had to look at the front to micro his army, he would just click his Phoenix really far away, probably on his minimap. Micro, macro, put down a pylon, and then he'd go back and micro those Phoenix in and out again. And he's so quick at zooming around that he did it so well. Yeah, that was just Solar being a greedy boy, trying to get way too far ahead, guys. That's a very late third from Stats. And you know what? His early waves had not done good damage. There's no way that game should have ended up in that situation. Also, remember the Oracles flew past the third down into the back of the natural. That never should have been allowed to happen. The Queens should have been right up against the edge of the map, stopping the flyby, stopping that from ever happening. So a bit of a mistake there. Thank you so much, Metal Taco, for the 14-month resub. Welcome back to the pigsty, my friend. Oops, there we go. Down here in the bottom right. Best of 9, sorry, best of 7. There we go. In the red, it's Stats. And notice he's going for that probe scout nice and early after the pylon this time. Of course, this is also to block the opponent's hatchery. And up here in the top left, representing TSG, the blue Zerg, it's Solar. Going for a 15 hatch. He does not want to get that blocked, so he's going for an insanely early hatch. Slows down 2 of his workers to ensure that can get down. Stats goes, all right, fair enough, buddy. I sent a probe across, I lose some mining. You had to slow down a couple workers to make sure I couldn't block you. And you know what? Let's do a little bit of harass. He's going to try and occupy these mineral patches, especially these closer ones, and try to bounce those drones off it. He goes, and he just always breaking it just before he mines the minerals. Occupying the mineral patch, clicking away at the last second. Occupying the mineral patch, clicking away at the last second. Very nice micro, just disrupting the workers. Notice how they bounce away because they go, oh, that mineral patch is taken. I can't mine there. Lovely micro by Stats. Just being as annoying as he can. Continuing to do so. And already that sporting pool's been delayed a few seconds from the 15 hatch. The necessity of that, as well as the harassment. Nexus does go down this time a few seconds later, as well as the Cybercore then from that previous game where he didn't have the probe scout on the map. Oh, the probe gets cornered. A 1 drone surround there. The probe eventually does mineral walk out of there. Cybercore back at home, queuing up more probes. Second gas drops on 21 as per standard. And you'll notice he sends that probe back to that patch, making sure they don't bounce around. Second pylon goes down right on 22. And if I had to bet, it'll be the exact same build from Stats. Oh, he just lost his probe! This drone. Hey, that's a 1-kill drone right there. This little buddy. Yeah, good job, man. So Stats gonna be a little bit annoyed about that. Doesn't send another probe. So I think he's gonna play a bit greedy against the Ling Flood again. Like remember he died to a Ling Flood against Serral game 1. Serral just smacked him with it. But it looks like he's just assuming, you know, Solar probably won't do that. I'll be fine. Hopefully my Adept will get wind of it. I think his Adept needs to go straight through to the natural no matter what. Whereas the reason he died to Serral's one is he spent all of his time trying to chase Serral's 2 Zerglings that are coming across the map to scout. People are talking about unranked ladder there in the chat. You do have an MMR, it's just hidden. And you do play against both ranked and unranked people, because otherwise the player base would be too small according to Blizzard. Oh, nice Ling pullbacks! Ha! She doesn't get a single kill there. Both Zerglings pulling back. Wow, they seen some shit. They have both had a laser frisbee wedged in their face and survived. Slowly healing up as they absorb some of that creep energy. Phoenix on the way here. Third pylon on the way. Those 2 Adepts going to go out across the map. No third gateway unit on the way yet. Surely he's not going to commit to that shade. Yeah, I'm like, you can't send these Adepts out when you've got nothing in your wall and nothing building. That would be mad. That would be mad. Exact same build order. Now what I really liked last game, I mentioned it, Solar had Overlords like here, and we just actually saw him click there. So I think he just clicked an Overlord cocoon down there. Let's click on that Overlord. Yeah, that was the click of the Overlord cocoon. Yeah, because he wants Overlords like on the edges, but close enough that if the Phoenix harasses them, you can pull it back and your Queens can save it, and then you can put it back out there. So notice he pulls the Queens back from the front because he wants to stay focused around the mineral lines. So Overlord there, he does want to put, an Overlord in this middle area. He's got creep through there and another Overlord up here. This one's a little far out, but it's better to see ahead of time where your opponent's coming from. The problem is his Queens are kind of far back right now. And I think, yeah, it's more important to just be up front and make sure he can't do damage. You don't want to like lure the Oracle in or anything like that. You want to just make sure your babies are safe. And that Overlord did pull back there. You got to watch about the run by. Yeah, this is the problem with not having the queens here. He knew the Oracle and the Phoenix was there. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. I think he could have been in position to just stop the run by. Like, I don't think Stats would have tried to run past if he saw 3 queens sitting on the edge. Because he would have taken so much damage on his Oracle on the way through. And Solar could have rotated a queen down there. Nonetheless, though, Solar really respecting this. He's got 8 Zerglings. Where are the Adepts at? They haven't come out on the map this time, so being a bit more conservative at home with those. Solar's building his economy very nicely. Look at this Roach Warren timing, guys. 4-minute 50 Roach Warren. Yeah, Solar's really playing the player. He's like, yeah, dude, I don't need to be worried about like a 5-minute 30 Archon drop. I don't need to be worried about Glaive Adepts. I know you're just going this triple Oracle build every game. So Solar can kind of meta him a bit, and I feel like he's once again in a lovely position. Solar's going to try to get the wraparound on these Adepts. They will be able to shade out, but they take a bruising, which is nice. Oracles dive in, 1, 2, 3 drones. Nice pick up on one of the queens there, but only 3 drone kills. You know, this is fine. Solar can handle that, man. Yeah, I love that he's keeping queens on the edge. I think he's really got to stay there because he's got to stop those coming in on the natural. The natural's the least defended base. Mauling's coming out right now. So Solar really wants to like waste the force field energy, try to surround the sentries, that sort of stuff. That wasn't too bad. It was a small handful of lings. But that means he delayed his roaches once more. And I really think he should be backstabbing the third with everything he's got, or jumping on the sentries nice and early. He doesn't have enough lings to jump on the sentries, so I feel like this round of Zerglings that he keeps building is like, it's right when his Roach Warren's finished, and he should be spending everything on Roaches and then Ravages, and I can't get behind it. I think it's a huge mistake, and it's part of Solar's build clearly, and it's something he needs to fix, because he's getting taken advantage of right now. And Stats here finds his way in. Once again, I talk about that rotation. You need the queens on the edge to stop that. Oh, that's going to be a lot of workers going down. 1 Oracle does fall, but another 6 workers fall. He's building more Zerglings. And he wants to crush this push. And he knows it's mostly Stalker Sentry. So the idea here is he engages before the next warp in. The next warp in is always the Zealot warp in. So he wants to engage right before that. He's got to split up and come from both sides though. And he has to jump on it right now. If 6 Zealots warp in, you're screwed, dude. You've got to use this army now. You've just spent so much money on it. Come on, come on, come on. Go, jump on this army, dude. Go! The Zealot warp in's there. Now it's hard to fight. Now, I don't think Stats is going to actually win the game with it this time. But the Zerglings are so useless now compared to what they would have been before that Zealot warp in came in. And he misses his opportunity. Oracle is there. Stasis Trap gets sniped by the Zerglings on patrol. He's building more and more lings. This is interesting. Big Ling backstab's gonna come in. Is gonna try and get a wraparound here on these Zealots. Oh, the Ling's getting stuck though. Lots of Lings going down, not really doing anything except forcing the recall. And as nice as that is, it's still a bit of an awkward position to be in as Solar with so many Lings in production. He still hasn't droned up to full 3-base production. He's had a good economy this whole time. He's got a good Roach Ravage account. He's got Roach Speed. He is adding upgrades. I think Swarm Hosts looks like it's gonna be the order of the day. 1 drone taking 1 for the team. Queens should be dealing with this, by the way. There's no safety in that spot. You can put a queen on each side and that Oracle will go down. So I do feel like Solar's not moving his queens around as smoothly as he should be. You can see he's struggling a little bit with just how much pressure Stats is putting on. 8 Swarm Hosts are on the way. Roach Ravager Ling coming forward here. There's a lot of force fields in that army. Good Biles. Good Biles. Does land a few of them. Oh. More Roaches, more Ravagers. Yeah, that's it. You just need more Roach Ravager right now. Once again, we see a very lightly defended third. A single Zergling has a bit of a poke. Oh, and it changes targets. I think some run-bys would be really nice. At the moment, it feels like Stats is keeping Solar a little bit too pinned back. The Oracles, and then suddenly, you know, now he's even got a few Zealots. The threat of the force field push. Oh, Solar, you gotta be so... Oh, Solar! No, Solar, you're gonna get force fielded! Ah, the Ravagers are on their own! Oh, 5 Ravagers. 4 of them gonna go down at the very front of that army. Oh, lands Biles on the sentries. Oh my. That was a bit of a mistake there from Stats. But a few Ravagers do go down. Locusts have been baited as well though, so that works out for Stats. Yeah, it looked like it was scary, but Stats always just runs the moment he sees the Locusts, lets them expire. Meanwhile, gigantic Zealot warping in the main, waiting for charge before he shows them. Charge is about to kick in. The Oracle's still down there. Those Zealots gonna go in. There's roaches in the main. Surely Solar can see this, man.
We meet our fate.
No. He barely doesn't have vision over that. Oh my god. Those Overlords that got pushed back earlier are starting to hurt him, and another stasis trap. Okay. Good job. Good reaction with the Zerglings. Warp Prism is in. Okay, Oracle there. That Oracle finally goes down. Yeah. About time. How many Swarmers are we up to, though? It's all about these Locust Waves. The problem is, we saw Stats in his final game against Serral, just the master of baiting out Locust Waves a few at a time. Like, I wouldn't mind a few Locusts getting thrown at this army, but no more than half at a time. And I like his patience here. He's like, let's break down the rocks, let's move through, and let's really throw them onto the base. I love the Roach backstab. He's got to keep them alive, though. Can't afford to just throw these units away. Few Immortals split off to deal with that. Zealot's still just hanging out in the main. I think Solar sees him at this point. Still no. Still doesn't know about those Zealots, and he's just waiting for the right time when Solar's super distracted, and he'll throw them in. Locusts coming in. Big Storms being used to clear that up. And does end up taking very little damage because of the storm, but at the same time, Lings are able to crack through the natural and Immortal Falls. Roach Ravager has to pull back. These Roaches, ooh, they're gonna take out that Immortal. Wait, do 4 Roaches, can they kill an Immortal? Oh, Stats is gonna keep it alive. Zealots, more Immortals coming in. Uh-oh, this is where things get bad for Solar. Swarmers way too deep on the map. His Zerglings unable to actually find any direct damage. Zealots are in the main. The Roaches are trying to buy time, but his Swarm Hosts, uh-oh, his Swarm Hosts are trapped. Oh no, Swarm Hosts, please survive. Oh, I mean, the High Templar are gonna pay a bit of a price for that, but nope, every single Swarm Host cornered. Oh, Solar. Losing the most important part of his army there. He's got to rebuild it. The problem is now Stats has a 4th secured. He's got a fleet beacon. He's going to build carriers, and you can't afford the air transition off this economy. This 56 drone economy of Solar. It's all about momentum. You need to be taking out Protoss bases. You need to be sniping those High Templar. By the time the next wave of Swarmers comes out, these High Templar will have energy. There'll be more Immortals, more Archons, and carriers will be in production. So this is a bit of a disaster. Losing those Swarm Hosts, I think turns this into an unsalvageable game, but hats off to Stats. I mean, he's such a master of just branching these backstabs across, and whenever his opponent commits too much to the front, he swings in from all sides, hitting them from behind, using either storms, force fields, or simply pulling back to negate the Locusts, very rarely engaging the Locusts. He only actually completely fought a wave when he was either just storming them to death, or when he cornered those Swarm Hosts and needed to go through them to secure the kill on the hosts. And there we go, forces the Locusts, pulls back. He's gonna drop Storms on them. Yeah, very nice Storms. He sees Solar wants to force the fight, but as Solar chases through Storms, all the Locusts go down. A lot of the Roach Ravager falls as well. And that's just a lovely engagement. Zealots on the south side are gonna hit that base as well. Stats is a god. Stats is a god. We've got Hive and Spire on the way. A Broodlord transition could happen, and that's a finishing blow if the Protoss stays on ground. But Stats never stays on ground. He goes Mothership, which is very good for cloaking your units. If Locusts come in on their own and don't have an Overseer, they can't do anything. It just makes everything invisible. And now Stats clearing up that map control. One more Locust Wave is going to look to flank this army, but oh, a few High Templar out in the open. Feelings will take that down. That High Templar gets to safety. The Zealots, good body blockers. One carrier on the way. Stats has got a 5th in the north side as well. If he loses a Nexus, it's not the end of the world. Recalls a whole big pack of his army. And once again is ready for a potential sandwich. More Zealots swing in. Roaches just not that good against Zealots until they get to a big critical mass. And then, of course, they're very bad versus the Storm and the Immortals. Ooh. It's a Zerg sandwich, but the Zerg filling overflowing outside of the Protoss bread right now. The Protoss bread has to pull back. He wants to set up a surround. He's having to use Storms to clear the Locusts. That's a very, very creepy filling there. That's a whole lot of Zerg. And yeah, I mean, you know what Protoss love even more than peanut butter and jam? Bam, bam, bam. It's Zerg. It's a whole bunch of shitty unupgraded Zerg. I think they got +2, but it's Roaches and Lings at the 14-minute mark. And yeah, the Mothership rocks up, and you know Solar's like, I think I'm dead. Yeah, we call jam jelly, by the way, guys. Jelly and jam are the exact same product for us. Americans like, no, jam's when it has fruit in it. We're like, yeah, what you call jelly, we just call cheap jam. It's like the stuff with the fake flavoring is just the cheap jam, and then there's the fancy jam, which has more fruit in it. Americans like, no, they're different things! The number of triggered Twitch chatters we've had every time I've mentioned that. They're like, no, it's different. That's not what the word is. I'm like, why don't you take your pineapple on your pizza, your distaste of licorice, and shove it up your ass. Licorice is delicious. Pineapple and pizza, not the worst thing in the world, but incredibly, incredibly unnecessary. One of the lowest value pizza ingredients. Up there with Nutella. If you're gonna eat Nutella, just eat it. You don't need to put it on a pizza. Just eat it out of the jar with a spoon. Some of you are like, why aren't you casting the game? Solar's really dead. At the moment when Stats just eats biles like that, I'm like, he's just got it, man. This is such a trash army. Like, there's a few Corruptors trying to come out, but the carriers are even trading well versed. And then like a lot of Proto stuff is dying. The problem is, even if the Zerg were to hang on in that fight, this is not an 80 drone Zerg, this is a 50 drone Zerg. This is a Zerg who's just been obliterated. Yeah, I'm still critical of the very Zergling favored unit comps. Yeah, what we call jelly is jello. You guys call it jello. We're like, that's jelly, mate. And you're like, it's jello. And we're like, it's fucking jelly, man. Get my jello, get me jelly crystals. Have some vodka jelly. It's good shit. What the fuck, Blick? Oh my god. I mean, technically what you said is true, but holy shit, dude. Oh my god. Chat is off the chain today. I gotta chain you guys up. You're like a pack of rabid horny dogs with the comments coming out in there. God damn. I'm like considering doing some timeouts. It's not just that one. There's been way too many comments like that today. Like chat's just like, yeah, smegma. And I'm like, what? Why are you guys talking about that? It's gross. I know I'm a bit gross. I'm not that gross though. Ugh. You guys are crazy. Potato pizza is both underrated and overrated. Is it? I've had some okay potato pizzas. I've never had an amazing pizza with potato on it. Down here in the bottom right, in the blue. He's had some good openings, but he's unable to deal with that Sentry Immortal pressure. I really think he's got the units out to snap the third base, and I think Solder's misplaying this, guys. I really do think he's misplaying. I don't think it's huge misplays. I think it's the small misplays which a godlike Stats punishes you brutally for. Sol's like, I'm doing well, I'm winning. And then he just gets too afraid of the frontal push. And the problem with building a lot of Zerglings against the frontal push is they're shit over time. They use a lot of lava. It's hard to drone while you're building them. And the Ravagers are kind of the more important part if they commit. If you're gonna go heavy Zerglings, and if you're so prepared for this push like Solar seems to be, I think you gotta counterattack that third as it's going up, as he's moving across the map. Keep him pinned back, force Stats to commit a little bit more to it. And the other thing is I want to see less of these oracles freely sliding from the third to the natural, the third, the natural, the main, back and forth. He's got to start putting those queens on the edges a little bit more. Maybe even put a second spore. Like on a map like this, you put if they're hanging out up here and they keep hitting this base, get a second spore on the edge or something like that. Like just so you can punish them for running past. Because I feel like Stats is kind of like he's just sitting there and he's got every flavor of drone ice cream. Every single flavor of drone ice cream. He's like, ooh, main base drones. Ooh, maybe natural, maybe third. Like the oracles just have too many targets. And even though Sol is defending well, I think he could be shutting it down really well. So he's doing very good early on. But I think the follow-up damage, and especially the stasis traps, are like just distracting him and throwing him off a bit too much. That being said, this is an amazing build from Stats. It's a really cool build. I would, if you want to get good at oracles, this is the build to do it. And you just go all in with your gateways every game to give yourself a nice simple game plan. Thank you, mod. Whoever put emote only mode on, I appreciate it. We got some poggers, some baby rages, some piggers, some piggies. Oh my god, whose Austin Powers emote is that? Mango? Nice. Mango's a legend. What's up, party favor? Damn. I've never actually hung out on Mango's stream more than like 2 minutes, but I always follow his social media adventures. Mango's the people's hero of Smash, man. People's hero. Thank you very much, Pasta Breaker, for 14-month resub. Appreciate that, dude. Oh, does manage to get a Zergling that time. Exact same opening from stats. Oh my god. If he wins this tournament by doing this every game, I'm gonna... Oh. I really hope Solar gets on top of this, guys, because I think Solar's had a good position. He's got a great start, but this is the point where your confidence can start to wilt a little bit because you're like, it's not working. I think, honestly, just build Roach Ravager and defend with that. If you're gonna commit to Zerglings, deny the third base, and yeah, I think just a little bit more like backstabbing. You know what else I would actually love to see, guys, against this specific playstyle of stats? If he can get an Overlord to the other side of the map, doing a slow Zergling drop when the Phoenix is on his side of the map would be nice. So if this Overlord ever survives somewhere up in the middle of the map, I guess that's super unlikely. That's just never going to happen, probably. It's very unlikely. If he somehow keeps an Overlord on that side of the map, that'd be good. But he's actually left his second Overlord out here, and that's a second kill for the Phoenix. So a worse start this game for Solar. He is, of course, really delaying putting back on gas. Why is he doing that, guys? Because he's going 5 queens and he's building a spore in every single base, and this is how he likes to respond to it. But 2 drones to the first Oracle without the Phoenix even joining up with it. Slight mistake. You can also notice, remember we talked about Solar's vision being great. He's missing this one important Overlord up here. That's high ground up there. You're not going to see the Oracles until they fly over the rubble, over these little crates. So Solar's, I think he's got to move an Overlord over there. Yeah, there we go. He's moving an Overlord there at least. I still think a bit further out would be great. And like I said, stop the rotation. Stats has got a really simple pattern with this. You can't let him get into that natural base. You got to punish him every time he tries to dive in. Good drone pull, good drone pull. That was lovely micro by Solar. Yep, snaps an Oracle, and he's going to damage a Phoenix quite a bit for it. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any Zerglings out. Where are his Lings? Oh, he does have Zerglings, and he's actually built a whole 14. That's a lot of Lings. This is acceptable, though, because this time the Adepts are gone. This time the Oracles have lost their count, and he should see the Oracle rotation and just move all of his Queens to respond. Yeah, he'll be fine. Oh, get the Queens over there. Ooh, Queen being isolated on her own. He's got to run with that Queen, bring the other Queens over. Ooh, I mean, I feel like stats there. Very ambitious move. Does work out for him. And please, like, right Roach Horn finishes, and we're going to see 20 Zerglings queue up, aren't we? If he... No, he's changed it, guys. He built 8 Roaches this time. Oh, you make me so happy, Soul. Go straight for Roach speed as well. Get a faster Roach speed. Give yourself a bit more flexibility, a bit more maneuverability. He might even do a big Queen Ling push, actually. Oh, probably not. Yeah, he'd be building an extra Queen or 2 if he was going to do a Queen Ravager Ling, I think. He's building Lings now, so he's going to swap Ravagers. He hasn't made Roach speed yet, though. I think he might think he started it, and he might have just barely not had enough gas. Oh. Uh-oh. That's kind of rough. It's a bit awkward. Here comes the push, guys. Once again, Stats is just a psycho. He keeps going out without the Prism. That's another move that could be punished by those early Lings that Solar kept massing previously, but was never taking advantage of this window before the Prism arrives. So Stats here, you can tell Stats is just taking all these little edges because Solar's letting him get away with it. And this is the crazy tiny adjustments that happen at like super high level. Players are like, you know what? Oh, I'm just gonna see if I can get in here. And sometimes they lose games because they're looking for too much, and then they have to reel it back. But Stats is in momentum town right now. He just keeps on, it keeps working. He keeps kicking butt. Those Zerglings do get a Zealot or 2. And you get out of that for now. Still no Roach speed, guys. That's a big mistake. Stasis Trap comes in. Oh no. Okay, good control, good control. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Solar's up at 54 drones, guys. He's building tons of Roaches, Ravagers, and Zerglings. He still doesn't have Roach speed. He's gonna actually go for that Queen push I was talking about, but he knows there's 2 Oracles and a Phoenix, and he's only got 2 Queens going. You need at least 3 Queens to make sure, because one's gonna get lifted up and the other will get sniped. He's purposefully not going for Roach speed, because he wants to do this push, but it's late. There's already so many Force Fields and Immortals out. There's a Shield Battery there. And you can tell that Stats, I mean, he's been going into these mineral lines. He's like, there's not as many drones as I would expect to see here. And now he sees the push. He's got the Prism out spotting. He's got a Hallucinated Phoenix. He's gonna, yeah, pull up here and try to defend as best he can. A few Zealots and a Shield Battery there. That third base is gonna be the area of most trouble for him. Oh, the Lings though. They go up onto the army. Yeah, that ramp is a real danger zone for the Zerg. So you know Stats is just staying there. Solar does break down the wall though. Roach Ravager Zergling, the third base being overwhelmed right now. Is Solar gonna do it? Oh, he might actually break him with this push. Oh, so many Immortals though. Those Stalkers all idling. Stats accidentally leaving a bunch of these behind. He has lost a lot of dudes on his third, but a good dodge on the Biles. He's still got 4 Immortals and a Prism. I think Solar's gonna, yeah, he's got to get the third and then get the hell out of there. Because, like, he just can't crack through this at this point. This is, yeah. I was hopeful for a second there, then I realized there was 4 Immortals still alive, and I was like, oh, you're screwed, man. Third base is not going to go down. He's jumping on all the Ravagers and Lings. The last, yeah, I mean, that's it for Solar. You know, goes for a decisive push. It's a good build for this map. It's easy for the Protoss to just die to it. Their Nexus getting low. It's getting low. No charge. The Zealots are just kind of chilling. What are you doing, dude? Come on, man. You can't lose that. If you lost that Nexus, that would be a disaster. I think he's still been doing stasis traps. I'm not 100% sure. He hasn't really been using his oracles that much. But yeah, Stats has got the army. So you might be like, oh, supply-wise, Solar's okay. Equal economy, just starting Roach speed, no Hydra Den, no infestation. But if he could build a pack of Swarm Hosts right now, that might be okay. Oracle's using some Revelations, a few small stasis traps here and there. Lots of Roaches, Ravagers, Zerglings. Solar's like, look, maybe I can crush a counter push, do some backstabs, but he knows he's not going to be transitioning onwards from here. So he's like, just keep building basic units. Maybe Stats overextends. Like right now, the correct decision for Stats is to just go home, but oh, Archons are going to be so good versus the Ravagerling. Archons added to Immortals, the Slayer of Ravagerling. Zealot's going to try and clear that up. That third base going to go down though. Nice backstab here. Oh, the shield battery. No, you're kidding me. Protoss, oh, let out your reason, Twitch chat. I can hear him from here. Angry Zerg Piglet screeching about the shield battery and the power of Protoss. Oh, I can't believe that Nexus survived, man. That's such a bummer for Solar. Oh no. Oh no. I thought, yeah, maybe if he got that, I was like, maybe. But look at this, he's like, oh, he's out positioning me, recalls half of his army to his, I love the way he keeps repositioning like half of his army with that. Ooh. Ah, you gotta watch out for the Archon splash. It looks tempting to jump on that, then you realize those Archons will kill every single Zergling before you even get the wraparound. Roach Ravager boys pushing forward. The army of Vom de la Roach. Oracle's gonna come in and start zapping down the Ravagers. He's gonna try to dive in here. He knows he needs to force the fight right now. The Bile, the concentrated Bile, some of them landing on the Immortals, but the barrier's doing a great job. And Solar's like, yeah, nope. He's like, nope. He's like, that's like 20 Immortals. Stats is up 3-0, guys. Quickest finals of all time. Let's find out. Blick with the 5-month resub. Thank you for that. He says, jammin' the jelly. Indeed, my friend. Indeed, my sick-minded friend. How are you doing, mate? Thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. Did I play other games? Yeah, I mean, I just play off stream. I used to play a lot of other games, but I find it's hard to stream other games. Like I play other games in my own personal time. Because I play random these days, Blue Maserati, and I do so much different varied content, I don't ever find myself bored of doing StarCraft. Yeah, like there are times where I'm like, oh, it'd be cool to be a variety game streamer and just kind of like your whole career is kind of just, you know, different games and different experiences every day. I'm like, that'd be cool. I don't get me wrong. But there's something about StarCraft, getting to go to the esports events and hang out with the pro players and see the community and all that sort of stuff that's just incredible. So it's good shit, man. Down here in the bottom right, it's Solar. He's got a 4 win in a row need right now. Solar needs to win 4 games in a row. His opponent dominating with triple Oracle, it's Stats. I thought Queens were OP, guys. I know they are against my Oracles. Apparently not against Stats Oracles. Bloody insane. Woogie says, fix it on WCS OBS. Pig. What were we talking about again? I don't know what we're talking about. Did I see you joke? Ben Light says. Oh. What's an Aussie 7-course meal? I have no idea. What is it? Let us know, mate. Oh, best of 7, guys. Yeah, best of 7. Yeah, best of 7. Oh! Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh, stats! You naughty boy. This is the cannon rush I've been working on, guys. This is the one Trap does, it's the one Parting does. Trap is better at it than Parting. Printf is better at it than both of them. Let's see. So yeah, basically 1 minute 40 is when you go for the wall off, because that's when you hit 300 minerals. Sometimes I try to go for it earlier than this, but he's like super patient. Yeah, 4 pylon wall off. Yeah, so you notice by delaying, he bought himself extra seconds. It means these pylons are staggered, so he can kind of start the cannon, cancel these cannons if there's no drones fighting. So he's going to cancel, cancel, cancel. Now I wonder if he goes, I think he's going to go immediate robo on the front. So cancel, cancel. He might let that second pylon finish. Why did he? 3 pylons, really? Immediate, okay, because he wants to put it really far away from the ledge. Okay, let's put a pylon up here. I actually like to go gateway, and I just make lots of stalkers. But I think this is probably the better way of doing it, right? So I think, okay, he's not going to fight for the high ground. So he's going to build another cannon here, surely. Oh, the cannon there is... no, this is the problem with going robo rather than gateway. You don't get... I would have a stalker here from my own base by now. And he hasn't built cannons or fought for the high ground. So the problem with this placement, if you're going to do this version, you can't place it on the low ground. You need to place it up here. You can't put it on the ledge. The spine's going to break this. I actually do think the spine's going to break this. The pylon's a nice little spotter. But look, the queen and the spine will take that out easy. Now, queen will take some damage. She doesn't care. Oh, shield battery. I'm actually surprised that he didn't focus the pylon while it was building. Because you get rid of that, there's no high ground vision. Don't tell me stats 4 zeros with this. And he's going to use all of his energy on the spine, and it is a Roach Ravager transition. Okay, so Solar's all in. He has to break out, guys. He has to break out with these Roach Ravagers. He's got to start biling all this down. Where's the probe? Where's the... Oh, he lost his probe. Oh, the probe got sniped by the... Oh my god! Oh yeah, that was the only probe. He didn't... And he walled himself in without bringing another probe. Ha! Oh, I wish Printf was here right now. He'd be laughing. He'd be laughing. He's like, stats. Seriously, stick to your Oracle build. Stop cannon rushing. Like, this is not how you cannon rush, dude. If he was able to mass shield batteries here, he'd be okay, but he can't build more shield batteries. There's no way. There's no way. Stats is dead, man. He's gonna lose his robo. He's got nothing at home. Only brought 1 probe. Didn't bring a second one and walled himself in. I saw the probe die. I didn't think it was a big deal. I assumed he'd have another one on the way, because you always bring that for insurance. Textbook hold by Solar. That being said, would it have worked if the probe was there to put down another cannon and a few more shield batteries? I don't think so. I don't think so. Other big mistake, actually. Other big mistake. Check this out, gang. Check this out. So... he was like, oh, what a Zergling's running across. So he went for this cannon at home like super early, which he didn't need. He didn't need. He could have built that reactively, right? So I also think he let too many pylons finish. Like, why do we need 3 pylons this early? We could be building more cannons and batteries, right? I guess you're going to use them later, but I feel like you only need 2 pylons. So the other thing is he doesn't scout with this probe. He doesn't check the other gas. And I think yeah, I mean... But yeah, like, he's built this cannon way too early. You could build that when the Lings are halfway across the map. Only 2 of them will be able to hit you. You'll be fine. Like, Solar's not going to gamble. He's a good player. On a big map like this, he's not going to just rally Zerglings past and try to break you. It's not going to work. You could easily put down another cannon if that's the case. So yeah, he absolutely... So he didn't know it was Ravagers. He didn't know what the follow-up was. Loses the probe. Walls himself in too early. Like, it's not a bad cannon rush, but it's definitely not great. Definitely not great. GG. Stats, unable to close it out there. He went for the cheeky win. Wanted to carry that momentum through, but Solar fights back, gets a point on the board. So good on him. Good on him. Yeah, back on that point about like getting bored of StarCraft. There have been times in the past, I think, when I you know, I was just playing one race and stuff where I'd get a bit more bored of it. Playing all 3 races, the meta changes, there's balance patches, there's drama. Some of it more interesting than others. Some of it straight out depressing. Yeah, I've been seeing certain. I'm not even gonna talk about it. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. I was gonna mention some real bad shit that I've been noticing. Anyways, move on, pig, move on. Don't go down that rabbit warren. Don't go down that rabbit warren. There's some really dumb drama, and it's really silly stuff. But anyways, let's talk about other stuff. This is a gas first, guys. Stats. Gonna do a very greedy build. Gas first, no scout. Not gonna scout till after his side because this is that greedy opening. Solo could get a free win with a 12 pool here. But yeah, Stats is gonna have a real smooth opening into that Stargate. Lovely way to play it. I just baited you guys so bad. God, Ben, craving that attention. A 7-course Aussie meal is a 6-pack and a meat pie. Nice. 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 Let's get the scoreboard reversed, shall we? And there we go. I had some amazing meat pies on the weekend, dude. Any Aussies here who've been up to the Blue Mountains? We went to. There's like this really nice bakery in Blackheath that we ended up going to before and also after our hike because we parked the car there because that was the end of the hike as well. And oh my god, they had so many good pies. I had this like amazing lamb and curry pie. I also had this I had this like great steak pie. It's just big chunks of steak in it. It was so nice, man. They're expensive, but goddamn. You know when you have like a really good pie? There used to be this company that did frozen red Thai chicken curry pies. And then I guess I was the only person that bought them because I'd buy these like frozen boxes of them and they were like the best thing you've ever tasted. It was so good. It's like rich, creamy, little bit spicy red Thai curry chicken pie. It was so good. And then I remember they just, I bought like a heaps of them for a while and then they never had them in the supermarkets here ever again. I was so sad, man. I looked so many times in freezer sections of different supermarkets and it was never there. And I was like, why didn't enough people buy this? This product must have got discontinued. Oh, I was so emo about it. I was like, no. A few things sound less appealing than a meat pie. Yeah, that's how. If you ever want to get slapped by your partner, you go, oh, love, you got a face like a meat pie. Like, someone doesn't even ever have to have seen a meat pie, and they know that's not a good thing. They know that sounds. They're like, that sounds terrible. What was that? That was like Trent from Punchy on Houses, right? He's like, oh no, I needed some pickies. She had a face like a meat pie, man. I remember just being stunned. I was like, the originality. Like, you know, whenever anyone comes up with an original insult, I'm always like in awe. I'm like, that's amazing. I really love original insults. There's some good ones. I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite pie on the Citadel, says Party Favor. Dude, I actually make a badass shepherd's pie. I make a really good shepherd's pie. I was meant to cook it with Dot one time, then we got in a fight and she was really angry at me. So I made it on my own while I was in the doghouse. And it actually turned out really good. And then I made it a bunch of times since then. It was good. I should do a cooking stream. Livy does some fun cooking streams, doesn't she? I was thinking I might one day. Maybe. I try to keep everything pretty separated at the moment and have like a really good balance of what I'm, focusing on with the stream and not going too hard on it. And then just having real high energy, StarCraft focused stuff. Especially with all the, we've done a bunch of new fun streams. Like the Star-Lord streams have been good. Later today, by the way, guys, I'll be updating the Book of Filth with all the video links. We'll be throwing a ton of builds up onto Spawning Tool, which is going to be awesome. Like, I'm going to have so much fun with that. We've been doing Twitch Plays Pig. We can do another one of those soon. I'm going to organize it well before we hit the goal. I appreciate you guys helping with the goal, but since it's moving along slowly, I've noticed a lot more people are preferring donations rather than cheers lately. And I'm kind of tallying up both of them. So I imagine that bar is getting close to about halfway full. I appreciate the support, guys. We're gonna organize that Twitch Plays Pig for next week. As always, whenever I do a goal, it's always about that content that I want to do. We'll do it no matter what. Whether or not we hit the goal, it's just a matter of it gets sped up and we get more motivated to do more and more of it more frequently. Like sometimes we smash goals and we end up with just a sequence of non-stop special events and kind of special content coming out. So it's a good way to just kind of, you know, help you guys build towards that being more consistent. And just kind of, yeah, gives me some goals to work towards, which is nice. Only 2 workers. Solar's in a good spot once again, guys. You know what? Overall, I think it's like 9. 7 workers only. Where is the Spore on the edge and the Queen's on the edge to stop the rotation? Solar, please. Now, he's got a good pack of Lings. And when this moves out, I really want to see him go for the backstab. The Observer sees the Lings, though. So, Stats is pretty well prepared. Oh, no, force field. Ooh, he could have been donutted there. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Oracles, they rotate in. They could dive back on there as well if they wanted to. Yeah. Solar, put the Queens on an extra Spore on the edge. It's the same pattern every single game. Even if he just hits the Queens there, he'll be fine. He'll actually be fine. He'll kill one of the Oracles on the way past. Yeah, Solar's gotta respect that. Now, once again, he's brought all of his Lings home rather than canceling the 3rd. Or jumping on this, and then the Prism arrives. He's had an opportunity to surround those sentries and at least bait out all the force fields, if not get all the kills. He's missed his opportunity again. Solar is just, he's letting himself get pinned back, and Stats is honestly just pulling off things he should not be allowed to pull off. Like, there is no way that Stats should be getting away with these moves that he's doing. He is cutting corners, he is doing a bit too much. It's a new build, and he's got a great lot of finesse with it. And I admire the fact that he's getting away with these things. Like, that shows that he's adapting on the fly. He's taking advantage of the mistakes his opponent's making. Another round of force fields goes down. Oh, the Immortal's in the open. The Prism's in siege up mode right now, but the force fields are too good. They keep it alive. That Oracle's still alive in the back of the main. But it is the last one left. Up at 58 drones. Most of the force fields are gone. Lots more Lings are here. A few are going to go for a backstab. They're going to try and cut off the probing. But there's a unit in the wall. Solar's going to send those to just, yeah, intercept these probes as they come out on the map. Go. Get him. Get. Oh, he's not going to be able to. That's a shame. And yeah, Stats here is like, you know what? Forge, Twilight Council, non-stop probe production. He's starting his transition here. Oh, Ling's coming in. And oh, if only he landed Biles. If he cast Biles, he could have taken out those sentries. And this is it. Stats forces such a big reaction, pulls home. Now it is going to be Swarm Host up against this again, but look, his creep spread's trash. Ooh, and he's going quite high on economy. Oh, and he just got stasis trapped. Oh man, Stats is so good. Don't get me wrong, Solar has a chance. He's actually hung on very well. I just feel like it's so frustrating because like you're not able to engage when you want to. You're forced into a lot of units. Stats is like, I'll leave now. Fuck you. Give myself time to warp in more forces. He just shaves off units. Like, look at the units lost tab. Tells the story quite well. This has not been as good as some of the other games for Stats, but now he's like, yeah, I got a 3rd. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Yeah, I'm gonna go Storm. Yeah, I'm non-stop building Immortals. I got Charge. I got +1. And whilst we're getting Swarmos up at a good time, okay, I was about to say with how shit his creep is and the fact that he's not re-spreading it, he actually has to go for a Nidus Worm. If he's playing Swarmos, he has to do it cheeky butthole style. You know, he's got to try and give his opponent a little bit of that pink eye, pop up a butthole in the back of the proto space. I think this is going to be a good area. This is a good area. Start throwing those locusts in from both sides with the Nidus Worm Assault. Yeah, so I want to see a little bit more of that. The problem with this, of course, is there's no creep queens at all. So there's not a lot of flexibility with the Roach Ravager defensively. If they have a lot of creep, they can defend a lot better. Charge isn't done. Zerglings get a lovely little wrap around, and that first Nidus is going to go here. He's cleared out that unit, so yeah. Locust into the main is going to be really powerful. If he can snipe... Oh, if he can get Storm. Oh, and look at this. Solar threatening. Uh-oh, he's a bit deep. Oh, he loses 6 roaches there. Yeah, the Biles let them out of the cage, but they're already dead by the time the cage gets broken. And there we go, guys. That's a lot of Swarmos. He can get Storm and the Nexus. He can get Storm and the Nexus. Just make sure he got it. Oh, no, he let... Okay, he microed it pretty quickly. He accidentally just got a few of them landed there. Now the unit's down here threatening on that side. He's throwing a Nidus there. And that's goodbye Storm, goodbye Nexus. Oh, it's a 2-for. 2 in 1. Oh, he didn't micro it. He didn't micro it. Oh no! Solar, no! This is your way back into this series. This can be 3-2. Run, 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 run. Oh, swarm hosts. Oh, 2 of them get trapped. 2 of them do get trapped. Throwing another one on the top. That's still probably going to go down, but this forces more units out of him. Solar's like, let me in. I want to push that Nexus over, man. Oh, too many of his locusts were trapped behind each other. He was busy microing his roaches, his ravagers. I mean, that Nexus is still going to go down. The ravagers still doing very well. They're happy to engage these units as they come forward kind of piecemeal. And yeah, you know what? The Roach Ravager already taking a pretty good engagement. Solar, large and in charge. No, send some locusts to the main. Send some locusts to the main. I guess he just wins the game. He should have sent just like a few locusts to that main base though. But killing the army is the more important thing. And yeah, Storm was not able to get ready. No Archons in the mix, not enough Zealots here. And it looks like Solar here, just pinned back, pinned back, pinned back, pinned back. And thrusts across the map, gives the cheeky butthole, farts in the face of Solar, of Stats, sorry. And Stats is like, no, I wanted to win 4-0, then I did a shitty cannon rush. To be fair, Stats is the guy who doesn't 4-0 very often. He's, doesn't get many easy wins. He's not a Maru who just crushes the opposition sometimes. Click on the Nexus with the Locusts, they're all stuck. Okay, I'll hold position. He's not microing his Locusts very well there, but I think he's already won at this point. Storm is out, he's gotta be careful, dude. He does have to, oh, yeah, he actually, that whole Locust wave did almost nothing. They were all stuck behind each other trying to get at the Archons and Immortals. Does take out some High Templar with Biles, but oh, he's getting stormed down, dude. Oh god, Solar. Easy there, buddy. Oh my god. The storm count. Imagine if those storms came out sooner. Yeah, that Templar Archives was actually poorly placed, right? If his Templar Archives was placed differently, he would have lost the main Nexus for sure. But I think that would have been better than losing the storm when he did. He's trying to build a mothership right now, barely trying to hang on. The Locusts are just all over the shop. Those ones in there, not really getting too much damage. Stats Micro is so good, dude. Run, run, run. Stats Micro, like, because he's doing it in multiple locations. Oh, by the way, there was an Oracle in there as well, being a bit of a dick. Did fall. He's trying to push Solar back, but it's 3 Immortals and 5 Zealots. That's not the army Stats wants to have at this point. Nice. He actually did it. But yeah, I really do think there's like, just with the way Stats is always attacking that third. I do like that Solar moved that Spore there. That was actually kind of nice, but I think his Queens could just be a bit better positioned as well, right? So it was like, I think it was about 520 when they went in there the first time, right? Let's check. Yeah, he hadn't moved the Spore up at this point. And okay, so the Adepts distract him, that's all well and good, yada yada. But the Queens keep moving back to this area, and the thing is, like, he's got good creep spread and vision around here. Like, he's probably gonna know if those Oracles reposition. I really think he should have been sitting here, and he should be pushing this Overlord further out. Like, the Phoenix can't bully your Overlord back this far, so I think he's too conservative with the Overlord, too conservative with the Queen placement as well. Where are those Queens? They're trying to respread creep. But yeah, I think, honestly, if he's sitting those Queens there, these Oracles are way more wounded by the time they get here. I think he's really good at pulling Queens from other bases when needed, but this is what happened, is, yeah, you go, oh, no, but at least he's able to defend the base. He goes, well, yeah, but then he comes in this base, and it's like, there's just too many of these little bits of damage which kept happening throughout the games. And, yeah, I mean, even though he loses 2 Oracles that time, you know, this wasn't as effective as the previous games where there was 3 Oracles dropping stasis traps for the next 10 minutes straight. I do also think just the ability that this Sentry Immortal to push out so fast ahead of the Prism. Like this game, it was actually one of the ones where the Prism was closer behind it. But I do think he has the numbers to jump on that. There's no damage output for anti-Zergling in that army, so I think he should be jumping on that for sure. Angry Healer, thanks to the 17-month resub. It is now 3-2 in Stats' favor. And of course, the next map is going to be the Turbo of Cruisers. Thank you very much, Angry Healer, for that 17-month party favor with the 10-bit cheer. Togtha. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that lovely Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much. Up here in the top right, representing TSG, needs 2 games to close out this finals to pull his way back into it. He was down 0-3. Now he's got 2 points on the board. Can he get a third? It's Solar. Down here in the bottom left, in the red, it's stats. Can you show Solar's key bindings? Yeah, sure, we'll show that in this game. Apparently there's a 1 hour break in this replay. What's the advantage of going gas first over gate first? If you go gas first, you get your tech up a little bit smoother. But you usually only do that if you're not scouting. You can technically still scout after the gateway. It's especially useful for Stargate builds or just any sort of opening. It just gives you a head start on that tech and makes it a bit easier to get it down earlier. So like Harstom's Marjorie build guide, he recommends a gas first. So this prober just kind of playing very safe for stats. He didn't get a block down. Hatches down, gas and pooler down, very standard build order. This was not a gas first this time. But yeah, you just get a little bit more gas. It's a real small adjustment. The difference between gas first and gate first, you usually only go gas first if you're a very high level player and you really notice the difference between a couple of seconds. You want to see how he binds his queens, Black Wombat? Yeah, I think he has one defense key and the other ones he just manually was grabbing by the looks of it. So I think he has 2 queens on his defense key and the other ones are just manually repositioned where needed, and sometimes they're thrown into his defense key when he's busy like really engaging the oracles, but then he puts them back on inject duty. We'll check later, but it's the same way I would do it. And it's the same way most pro gamers and Cyril does it. You've always got your creep / defense queens on a little kind of roaming squad. And they're always on the same hotkey for all matchups. Let's go to Solar's Vision. I'm just kind of curious what he's doing with his scouting. So you see that Overlord repositioning there. He's not going to send a second Overlord across the map because he knows Phoenix is so common. Doesn't want to feed 2 Overlords to it. Hits a slight supply block here because he went for a very fast 3rd hatch and of course delayed his queen. So he went 1 queen on the natural, straight for creep tumor, then queued up the 2nd queen, added the Overlord a bit later. He's got 4 Zerglings that are popping now. So he's ready with those to deal with the Adept as it comes in. So yeah, has to do a little bit of Zergling micro here. Pulls back these drones that are being targeted and is ready to do a Spore Trick. Nice Spore Trick. So he realized only one of those orange drones was in range. So that was the one he focused on, saved it. And he says, you know what? Oh, no Stalker yet? Okay, we'll go in with this Overlord. It's 2 Adepts. Overlord will confirm, check that it's Phoenix, check that it's an Oracle building afterwards. And already we see 1 queen on control group 1, which is this one. So that's the defense key is number 1 by the looks of it. And other queens on 0. So he might actually have an injecting queen control group as well. Yeah, number 1 is actually where he puts his creep to / defense queens. I wonder if he might actually have shifting control groups. He might rotate that once he needs a 2nd army group onto something else. I'm a big fan of having a queen control group that never changes. We'll see how it goes. Oh my god, he actually control groups all of his bases. Please tell me Solar uses camera locations. Didn't Solar play Brood War? Why would you... Okay, no. So he can use the control groups to manually build units from a certain location. Okay. I'm like, there's got to be a reason for that other than shitty mechanics, right? There is. This is Overlord. Yeah, I like it even a little bit further to the left. I think we can keep that safe as long as these queens hang out over here. Let's go back to everyone's camera. It is the exact same build, guys. Robo goes down. 2 more gases go down. Another pylon. A 3rd Oracle is on the way. The 2nd one's making its way across the map. The Adepts here ready to just harass with it. And we're going to, of course, see 4 more gateways and then a 3rd base. That probe just chilling, waiting to go gate, and explode into it. Lair, Roachhorn on the way. The Roachhorn's a little bit faster than in some of the previous games. So you see, this is what I was talking about. Don't let him slide past. Even there, he was a little bit slow to do it. Could have inflicted more damage. Oh, the Spore's not quite ready. Oh, we delayed that Spore. Oh, it does lose 5 workers. Is going to damage the Queens and the Oracles the Phoenix and the Oracles quite a lot. There's other Oracle going to come out. These 2 Adepts haven't really done anything just yet. Lings, if they can get a wraparound, this would be a great way to just make it a bit harder for Stats to secure that 3rd. Nicely done, Solar. Does manage to get one adept. Might get a second one, but no, the sentries are there. 4 more gateways down. Third base, not going to be stopped. Actually, does get a snipe on that. Good harassment here by Solar. Going to force another probe to come out. 2 Lings going to slide in. He's like, yep, exact same build order. And notice how he's not massing Lings as much. He still does build quite a big pack. A few more drones. And now he's just building Roaches and Ravagers. He got ahead last game. He went into Swarmo, so but he did a good job. I would not mind the same sort of play here again. Cheeky Butthole could do well. But stats, I mean, when he's aware that's coming, it could be really, really rough. And at this point, we need more queens in that main base. That main base does have a second spore in it, so I like that. He's a bit prepared there. You can't reach them in the back, so even if you put queens on the edge, it's a bit dangerous because then they can bypass. So I actually agree with him not doing anything about that for now. And he's building an Evo chamber. Sentries and mortals coming across this map. Ooh, a bit of a supply block here. The third being delayed and these pylons and that Nexus being delayed means stats does hit a bit of a supply block. And, ooh, traps a couple Zerglings. Let's use a few force fields for it though. No probing going on right now for stats. Warping in 2 more adepts actually. Where are those 2 adepts? 1 adept there. Okay, 2 at the third. So he's just going to defend with that. Oracles come back in, snipe down a drone. Where is that third Oracle? Is it still alive? No, 1 Oracle has fallen on this map. More Stalk and Sentries warping in. That's got to get out of there. Stats barely dodging the biles, but uh-oh, Ravagers may have come too far forward. 4 force fields though. That's a pretty expensive amount of energy. In the short term, that's a big cost. Oh my gosh, he's still droning. Solar's being a bit greedier, and Stats is like looking at this and he's like, that's not that many units. Now a lot of Lings are ready to come in from behind, and that could be amazing. No Zealot warp in. This time Stats has gone too deep. He's trying to warp in those Zealots right now. The Ravager's unable to get in range of that Warp Prism. A lot of Stats units are falling here. Is it going to be enough though? The Queen's coming forward. A few transfuses on these Ravagers would be really nice. That was a immaculate hold. Perfect hold. The Ling wraparound before the Zealot warp in. That was the problem we were talking about in the previous games. And the funny thing is, Stats kind of sensed he was weak, said, hey, this unit count's not quite right. And he kind of forced Solar into doing that move. I really wish Solar was a bit more proactive about taking that sort of fight on his own, of his own volition. Obviously, Solar's 1,000 times better than me. I don't want to be too critical because there is a chance Stats would just force field you out and not let that happen. But I mean, I love how well it looked. It looked amazing. He's going to try and push here. No Roach speed, guys. He's got a Nidus Worm on the way. He's trying to just kind of go all in with Roach Queen. He actually managed to force the Immortal to lift, but the Immortal is still alive. Oh, the Immortal goes down! Stats with a blunder! Oh my god, Stats with a big blunder. Morphing the low hit point Ravagers, Roaches into Ravagers, but good focus fire by Stats. Finishes those off. 1 more Immortal here. That Immortal is all that stands between Stats and a dead third base. Solar and killing, Stats' own third base. It's the only thing keeping him alive right now. Swarmos now on the way, but oh, he does end up washing up there. Only 61 drones versus 65 probes. It was a big commitment by Solar. He took out the army, so I don't want to say it didn't work, because it does push Stats back. Charge and +1 are massively delayed while he was busy with that. He's gone up to 8 gateways. This is so weird now because Zerg's down on economy, but you've got map control. Creep spread's starting to get out there, especially through the middle. I'd love a little bit more spread on that. The problem is the Nidus going to work, right? You tried this before. Your opponent knows that's kind of one of the things you might go for. Has no idea about that. Oh, and a Contaminate on the Robo. Very nice. Yet again, a second pause this game. So apparently they had to break this game up a few times. Solar, though, popping out this Nidus. How many Swarmos has he got? Enough to snipe the Nexus, potentially. Units are nearby, though. Look how quick he is with the pickup. He knows where the blind spot is. And he's got to select the Locusts. He's got to select the Locusts. Oh, he wasn't able to select all of them. A bunch of Locusts wasted. I wouldn't mind a snipe on the Robo. He could just go for the probes. Roaches and Ravagers run through the middle at the same time, trying to distract, trying to occupy him. But he's not going to get the Nexus, guys. That's not enough Locusts. That Immortal drop absorbing some of those Locust swoops. And he's unable to get it. Oh, nice play from Stats. I mean, just how quick he is. To get those Immortals over to that Nidus is epic. It's massive. It's huge. Thank you very much, Verkware, for the support there in chat, dude. I don't know if you got a chance to watch live at all, but thank you so much. It was a fun show match. Appreciate the cheer as well. You're in conference in Chicago. No worries. Appreciate the passion, my friend. Guys, this game's getting kind of close here. Storm kicks in. Storm kicks in just in time. Oh no, and he clumps up for it a little bit. Oh, the saves on the Prism. Is he just gonna lose no units? Is Stats a cheater? I would have lost my whole army there. Stats saves every unit, gives time for the shield batteries to work, dodging the biles. He's hanging on by the skin of his teeth right now. I think, is Solar pushing too deep? I think he can be patient. He's really got him wedged back. Oh, the biles are just never connecting. He's just unable to connect. The Swarm Hosts are trapped. The Swarm Hosts are trapped. Oh no, he's losing Swarm Hosts. He's lost most of his Ravages. Solar was so close to winning this game. He's not out of it yet, but he's losing too many of his important units and all of his Locusts wasted. Oh no, you don't want to throw Locusts behind a slow field onto a single Zealot. Oh, Stats is hanging on. He's got to keep getting his spotters. He's got to Nidus in these different angles. If he can get Locusts in a mineral line, that'll be huge. But look at that. Even in the midst of the chaos, Stats sends Zealots across for a backstab. He knows that's what undid Solar in the first match. In that Swarm Host versus Zealot match, it was the Zealot backstabs that really tore him apart. The Phoenix there trying to do some spotting. A new batch of Storms is going to be ready just in time, guys. A new batch of Storms going to be ready just in time. Queen's here. Popping out of the Nidus to always guard that. Shooting down the Oracles. Very nice. And Roach Ravager in the middle, though, gets minced. Ow, ow, ow. Zealot's going to counterattack. There's no defense up there, guys. Okay, Locusts are going to hit that base, and he should get the Nexus this time. I don't see how Stats could possibly save it. Storm's going to have a go at it, but will not save it. Does storm his own probes, in fact. But 5 drones going down at home, taking out the third, maybe the natural not enough. That Nexus immediately being rebuilt back at home. Stats here fighting for his life. No, not again! Solar, no! Fucking shitballs. God damn it. F. Pay respects with F. Oh, Solar, not again. He's just getting some momentum, man. Just getting some momentum. Now he's down to 5 Swarm Hosts. It's Roach Ravager versus Storm Immortal Archon, dude. Time's run out of the hourglass. And, oh no. Few too many wasted Locust Waves. Stats a master of making what looks like a really decisive Locust Wave that'll kill his whole army. Just does nothing. Honestly, this guy is a friggin' god. How did he survive that? So he defends the big frontal push, doesn't have any map control, doesn't really have any pressure out there, and then Niduses start popping up. And that immediate quick pickup there, stopping this Nexus from dying, was huge, right? So he saves the Nexus. The Roach Ravager unable to really get any big damage. These slow fields really slowing him down. But even then, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. The number of times Stats is like dead, but then not, is insane. He wins the grand finals, by the way, by winning this match, guys. He closes it out. It's just insane because Stats is so good at surviving. Like right now, Storm just kicked in and this Locust Wave is 2 clumps. So that's a mistake from Solar. Solar should have spread those out, should have floated over and landed on the mineral line. Whenever you throw all your eggs into one basket against a really tip-top Warp Prism micro player, their ability to just kind of pick up and save units, is insane. But once you start creating more problems in more areas at once, you fly Locusts over that mineral line, you maybe land some on the High Templar, but you try to get on the probes, and especially, because we're at 11 Swarm Hosts, so especially if you get up to like 15, 16, you can split those into 2 squads, and you can start trying to throw them from here, you know, into that base or this mineral line, as well as from here. You can throw some from there onto the army, some into the back of their natural. But that there was an incredible hold, with the Storm coming in just in time, saved the Immortals and Archons from dying as well, and he pushes back out and pushes back the Roach Ravager, which is really important. Is actually trying to trade with the Roach Ravager in between the Locust Waves. And just look at this, just saving all of his units. And like what looked like it was gonna be really good for Solar, all those units kept getting saved. All of Solar's eggs were in one basket, and then it turns around and he loses too many Swarm Hosts here, which is really rough. Not just that though, he wastes another Locust Wave because of the panic. Solar should have had those Swarm Hosts out of there, back over here waiting to throw another wave in. Never should have committed that wave on the front. That's exactly what Stats wants. Stats needs time to get up more Storm energy. Wasted a Locust Wave, and that's a disaster. Anytime you waste a Locust Wave, it really, really just makes things very difficult for you. That was another rough move. Moved through and lost a ton of units. This was a great Locust Wave where he starts to get damage again, starts to get some nice momentum again, right? But then the next one. Lost all of his Swarm Hosts down there before getting the next one, and that's it. Oh, damn, Stats is a god. The master of taking out Swarm Hosts, the master of Oracles. He did the exact same build 5 out of 6 games in that grand finals. Phoenix, 3 Oracles, 2 Adepts, 6 Gate, Sentry, Immortal Pressure into macro. Charge, Storm, all that stuff. Only game he didn't was the Cannon Rush, which was a bit of a fail because he lost his probe and had walled himself in, so he was kind of done. But yeah, GG's. What a series.